Hello ladies and gentlemen, Panzer here, and we're back with another Overwatch theory, and this is one that I've seen floating around on subreddits before, and I wanted to sit down and actually talk about it. The gist of it is that many people seem to think that Reinhardt might be PHARAH'S father, and I can see why people might think so. The pair certainly seem to be sweet on each other, that's Ana and Reinhardt, that is. The pair certainly seem to be sweet on each other from their in-game dialogue, but is this enough to suggest that they might actually have been in a relationship at all? Well, I decided to take a look at the facts and see whether it was possible and what evidence there is, if any, to support the idea. So, pure affection, first off, is not enough to prove that Ana and Reinhardt had a relationship back when they were in Overwatch. The passing compliments between the pair are certainly sweet, and Reinhardt has the air of a classical knight. So his chivalrous attitude might seem to be more part of his personality than a sign of romantic interest. And if we look at the timeline, it really doesn't make much sense either. So, to establish where we are right now, Reinhardt is 61, and Ana is 60. Meanwhile, PHARAH is 32. By most accounts, Overwatch was officially founded 30 years before the present day in the game. This would make Ana 30 and Reinhardt 31. PHARAH would have been 2 years old at this point, so unless Reinhardt and Ana knew each other before Overwatch, and of course Overwatch itself was founded exactly 30 years ago, it wouldn't be possible. But let's have a look at the other evidence that supports this theory as well. PHARAH mentions to Reinhardt that she had a poster of him on her wall while growing up. Now, it was quite common for Overwatch recruitment posters to feature prominent members of the organization to be displayed around the world. Now, we have seen this in the Hero short with Soldier 76. There is actually a poster of Soldier 76 in Dorado. And this happens nearly everywhere else wherever there are prominent members. And Reinhardt embodied the values of justice, duty, and honor, and of course his imposing stature would certainly make him a popular choice for promotional recruitment posters and the like. So it's not surprising then that PHARAH would have a poster of him at such a young age. No doubt it would have been given to her by a member of Overwatch, if not her own mother, since photos and artwork from that time also show her being around the agents and commanders as well. Despite Ana not wanting her daughter to live the life she had, she still had a hand in indirectly influencing her interests in the military life by simply exposing her to that frequently enough. As we understand, what typically tends to happen is the environment that you grow up in tends to influence your childhood and thereby your later life and the choices you make, to a certain degree. Now, it's far more complex than that, I'm just simplifying it down, but of course, being around Overwatch members would have sparked at least some form of interest in what Overwatch is, what her mother does, and so on. Some have speculated that the poster was given to her by Ana and it was a deliberate choice so that PHARAH could grow up knowing what her father looked like and what he stood for in case anything untoward happened to Reinhardt. And while this certainly is a possibility, it also doesn't make as much sense when you consider at that time, the amount of time PHARAH spent growing up with the members of Overwatch would have given her plenty of chances and time to get to know Reinhardt, and of course if indeed he was her father, thereby negating the need for the poster being on the wall. But of course, the argument could be made that it was a replacement for having photos around that would expose what technically would be a secret relationship. But since the argument isn't completely supported or disproven by evidence, it's hard to say one way or the other just yet. The last thing that seems to tie the characters together as a family seems to be the core value of delivering justice. All three have lines of dialogue specifically relating to the act of delivering justice. Ana Mori has the unlockable voice line of "justice delivered." One of Reinhardt's lines when he spawns in is "justice will be done." And of course, there's the unmistakable line from PHARAH of "justice reigns from above." It certainly sounds compelling when you put them together like that, but in this case I would say it's more likely that it would be a nice nod towards the idea of a core family value being between the three characters if indeed this relationship was canon, rather than evidence supporting it. So in other words, if Blizzard was intending for them to be members of a family, this would be something they would do to hint towards that, but it doesn't support it entirely as evidence. But overall, there isn't any real compelling evidence to say that Reinhardt and Ana were definitely in a relationship at that point in time, let alone being the father of Pharah. While they certainly share similar values and there is a link between them, nothing really supports it or entirely disproves it either. It's certainly possible, but far from confirmed. And while Pharah's father is certainly noticeably missing from all lore related to her childhood, there's nothing saying that Ana wasn't simply a single mother. Personally, I think that would display her strength as a character if indeed she raised Pharah all on her own. As for why their relationship would have been a secret if it existed, it all comes down to office politics and military protocol. In his position, Reinhardt would have fulfilled the role of a sergeant major, an experienced soldier without a commissioned rank, whereas Ana was already at the rank of captain and she was also promoted to Overwatch's second in command after its founding. So while it's not strictly prohibited, most militaries strongly discourage relationships between service personnel, especially between commissioned officers and those of non-commissioned rank. It's an old way of thinking that was mainly in place to prevent morale issues and problems between soldiers. Hence, such a relationship would have been, or would have had to have been, out of the eyes of anyone in the organization. So my closing thoughts on this would be, it's genuinely possible, but there isn't much evidence to say yes or no on this. But let me know what you guys think. Is Reinhardt Pharah's father? Could Ana and Reinhardt have been in a relationship at all? Or is there another possibility for who Pharah's father really is? Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe if you're new to the channel. My name is Panzer, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.